champion. Chris, not wrong. Points gaming.
Hey, this is our first podcast here at Hit Points Gaming. Hopefully we'll be doing this every 2 weeks, so thanks for joining. We're going to talk a little bit about what we did at PAX and about who we are, I guess, just to introduce ourselves. I am Chris, or Snot Rocket. We have Corey, Lord Empion, and Doug the Freshest.
How are you?
Or Mantan.
Mantan,
Yes.
Doug the Freshest.
So I'll start off. My history, I'm kind of, I guess, I'm really the indie guy here. I bring a lot of indie games here. I do a lot of Humble Bundles, a lot of bundles on PC. I own 0 consoles right now. I know. Don't laugh at that. But I'm a big PC guy. Games are so much cheaper on PC. I can't see why I would buy a console right now.
I can't disagree with games being cheaper on PC. That's a major selling point. They're cheaper and they look better. So
yeah. I mean, like Horizon Zero Dawn looks really good, but I'm not buying a PS4 for that.
Yeah.
That's really.
I just bought an HDR TV just for that game, so
Oh boy.
it was worth it.
Okay. Boy.
Wow. Okay. I just play a lot of indie games. One of the games I'll be putting up a review for soon is Runestone Keeper. It's like an app puzzle game, kind of like you just move tiles around and kind of walk around a dungeon. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
That's really about it. What about you, Core?
I started video games as all of us did when we were super young, but I think over the last 2 years I've kind of transitioned more into the board game element, which is pretty cool because that's pretty popular now at PAX. That's obviously growing. But before I get into board games, I just mentioned it. I'm playing Horizon right now. I did miss out on the Switch. I was on the fence, but I will be looking forward to getting it just for Zelda. I think the game makes it worth it just for the system alone. But I am playing Horizon, and we really met each other, through school, and because we all have the same common interest, that's how we became so close. And we started Hit Points Gaming to share all of our stories. And like Chris said, he brings a lot of those indie games and computer games. I'm bringing the board game aspect, and Doug, you'll hear in a second. I think he's the biggest gamer and the elitist gamer of us all. Any tournaments, he's going to be our number one man. So take it over, Doug.
All right. My name is Doug. I go by Mantan, and as far as my favorite genre is definitely fighting games, which right now I'm completely lacking because I'm not enjoying Street Fighter V as much as I once did. But as far as games go, like I like a lot of retro games, man. I like to play a lot of different types of games, not just fighters, not just retro, like anything, RPGs, stuff like that. If I had to choose a favorite game of all time, it's definitely Metal Gear Solid. I think that game, as far as when I was born, changed everything as far as any type of cinematic take you could have in a video game. I think Metal Gear Solid did it the best. As far as what I'm currently playing, right now I'm actually playing Neo, which I'm getting a little frustrated with. It just tries to be like Dark Souls, like a kind of a crappier Dark Souls, but you revisit the same areas over and over, and I'm kind of getting a little tired of it. It's okay, but I think that's what I'll be bringing to the table, man. Just lots of different types of games. I like indie games too. Like Hyper Light Drifter is like probably my number one indie game, but for the most part, you'll be seeing some Street Fighter V, and you'll be seeing a lot of me losing in Street Fighter V.
See, I don't want to hear that because you're our fighting game dude. Like we've
Right.
been to PAX with you, and we got videos of you beating Swoozie and a couple other like real gamers.
Yeah. But in the new game, I happen to play Fong. If anybody does play and they know who that is, he's the absolute worst character in the game. But I'm a character kind of guy. I don't just pick top tier. So season 1, he's the worst character. He gets nerfed, and the Ty's character gets buffed. So it's just like it's frustrating. It's the same pattern that it was in the Street Fighter 4, but it is what it is. I have to keep trucking.
So all right, you know what I'm doing? We're jumping right into PAX. Let's just talk about PAX. That's
Awesome.
what we're here for.
Let's go.
pretty much Corey, myself, and 5 other dudes and like Corey said, we're all friends from like high school. Pretty much everyone's friends since middle school, high school in this group of friends. So we've kind of known each other, I don't know, 15 years, some of us more than that.
Yep.
So we drive up, we got 7 of us in a room, and it gets a little stinky, but it's it's a lot of fun, you know? It's like
that's
weekend.
part of the experience.
Part of the experience, I guess, is being
going to PAX.
stinky. Being stinky
Yes,
at PAX.
But it's also fun, like we sit in the room and there's 7 of us, and it's really nice to have here's a tip for PAX. The more people you go with, the more of an experience you'll have, because with so many different people we go with, like I like to go to the parties. Like Corey and I went to a party on Friday night where some of our other friends did the board game room for one night, and the other 2 went to like a concert. So you have people, hey, I don't feel like going out tonight. Let me go to the concert, you know, so you're not alone. So that's a really good thing to have.
Yeah.
You know?
And also to jump in on that, it's important when you go with a group to not be afraid to do what you want to do.
Yes.
So don't get caught up ever. And this is if you go anywhere with a group of people, whether it's vacation, PAX, doesn't matter. If you go with a group of people, don't feel like, all right, these guys are doing this thing, so I miss out on what I want to do. No, you go do it. We will see you later for sure. You know what I mean? So I think that's important for everybody to hear.
To your point, Chris, what's really helpful in that, especially with PAX, is because we have such a large group, if one member went somewhere else and did something, they can fill us in. So we're getting a lot of different aspects from PAX. So I don't feel like I missed out on it. Even though I wasn't there, I got to hear about the concert. I got to, hear about, like, see the merchandise that he got to bring back. So we get to see everything else, even though we don't have enough time to do everything. You know, so I'm glad we get to split up and do that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up, because there is so much to do at PAX.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
There
it's so much stuff. I mean, we've been going since the second year Pax East started. We missed the first year because we went snowboarding, but because of that, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, you have your concerts. You have the indie booth is now huge.
That's my personal favorite part, is the indie booth. So I'm very happy that they went in that direction.
You know, it's like one of the things I want to talk about is how the indie booth is getting even bigger and bigger, while the big games, you know, Blizzard and League of Legends, it's getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
So it's becoming more of an indie kind of, I shouldn't say it's really becoming more, but it seems to be more of an indie environment.
It is. And I like the indie booth because, you know, do you want to wait in line for 2 hours to play a game that you've read about for the past 6 months anyway? So you know everything about it. You just want to go jump into a game of, like, multiplayer in the latest Halo game for 10 minutes. You wasted half your day. Versus you go to indie games and you jump on in maybe 10 minutes max if there's like a line, and you can play for as long as you want, really.
Yeah, and you're bouncing back and forth, you know, like you're able to bounce from this game to this game to this game. And a lot of the people making those indie games, they actually care about their game, you know, like this is their lifeblood. So they want to talk to you and say, "Hey, did you like my game?" "No." "How come?"
Right. And that's important. There's been a time where I've actually, like, I've discovered a glitch in a game and said, "Look, there's this problem." The guy's like, "Man, all right, I see you abusing that." He says, "I'll have that patched by tomorrow." He patched the game overnight. He patched it from Friday to Saturday, and I walked by and he grabbed me and said, "Hey man, that doesn't work anymore. Look." And I was like, wow, like, yeah, I literally fixed somebody's game. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great feeling.
It's a good point with all the indie games, because I like going through it only because I'm not on PC so much. I don't see that whole library of Steam games. So this is my way to see what's coming out, or else I would never see these games half the time. And now I know they're on my radar now, because everyone knows the AAAs that are coming out. So I don't really, like you said, I don't waste my time waiting in line hours just to play 10 minutes of something that I already know, or I know I'm getting in a few weeks anyway. Who cares? I want to play the games that I would never know about, and here's my chance. And I just love how indie's really growing with PAX.
Right. That Nintendo booth was hours and hours long to play Zelda, Mario Kart, and one other game I can't even remember. 1-2 Switch, I think it was.
And Street Fighter was there. But it's like Mario Kart's been out on Wii U for how long? Like, do I need to wait to play that? Like, do I need to wait to play Street Fighter 2?
Wait, it's
Like,
the
I don't
deluxe
need-
version. It's a
I
deluxe
don't-
version with extra characters. They're gonna steal another $60 from me because of that.
Right. That's why I'm not down to Switch, but that's a whole nother episode. It's a whole
Yes,
nother episode.
agreed.
All right, Chris. Why don't we talk about some of the different things that you either liked or disliked in PAX?
Okay, yeah, I'm going to start it off. Some of the things I want to talk about is there was one of the things I really liked. I don't own an Oculus. Being the PC guy, like I don't own one yet. But one of the games I really thought was really cool was John Wick, and used the Oculus. Now you have an Oculus, Doug, and I was hoping you or our other buddy Gabe's going to pick it up because it looked really cool. You're standing there, you're moving around with the gun, you're stepping into the elevator, like you're getting really immersed into the game.
So the main thing about a lot of VR games, and mind you, I love my Oculus Rift, which is why I haven't been playing a lot of other things. I've been using it a lot. Is a lot of games are just shooting galleries, right? So it's like, which shooting gallery is better? And John Wick is a game that's $20 with 3 levels.
Oh no!
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that game immediately is on the lower tier, and it plays good, and it's cool. It's cool what you do in it, like the whole elevator scene, and you give the guy the coin or whatever. But it is not worth $20, especially with Robo Recall being free with the motion controls for Oculus, which is the best shooting gallery game ever. Like it is Robo Recall is what people want to buy VR for.
Okay.
Like that's how good it is. And I actually had some people over yesterday to play it, and they were like, I feel like skipping my vacation and buying a computer and getting Robo Recall. So
you keep hearing about it too. It's got to be,
Yeah.
everyone's talking about it. I don't know if it's because it's free or because it's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. It really is. As far as John, I'm not gonna say John Wick's bad, but is it worth $20?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the thing. I've seen a lot of the games on Oculus storefront where they're expensive.
Yo, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
They're not cheap, man. And I don't know if I can call it a major problem. It's a major problem for me because when I'm looking at the Oculus game, I'm going through the reviews. Mind you, a lot of those people, the reviews on the Oculus store are bad. But it's like, is this game worth $20? I immediately go to Google and try to find out how long the game is. You know what I mean? That's like my first thing. And if it's something that looks really interesting, I'll buy it. For instance, there's a boxing game that was $20. There's only 4 guys to fight against, but it plays like Punch-Out. And it's great. So I'm like, all right, I had fun with it. Was it worth $20? I guess so, if I enjoyed it. But it's over in a sitting. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, $20 is kind of steep.
I know,
nowadays.
man.
I mean,
Yeah,
when we were
it is.
kids, $20, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to spend $20 in games because they were $50, $60.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're spoiled now or what, or I mean, like on the last Humble Bundle I picked up for $6, I got 8 games that I played,
Yeah. And that's part of the thing is the game worth the money in VR, and a lot of times it isn't, but some stuff's cool, so you want to play it. That's kind of how it goes.
Right. And one of the last thing I want to talk about that I really want to talk about was like kind of the spirit of PAX. Now you have a kid, Doug, and we're having a kid soon. Is I watched this little kid with his parents, like with his dad. They were playing King of Tokyo, the board game.
Okay.
But it was like life size. They had the cutouts of the figures on this 10 by 10 playing field, and this little kid's carrying his dice around, throwing his dice. Like it looks so cool to me as an adult. And then as a kid, that's got to be awesome,
Yeah.
That's what PAX is to me, having fun and seeing smiles. And I've never run into a nasty person at PAX. Everyone seems to be generally nice.
You're right, man. Corey, I don't know about you, but that's important. I've never run into like a jerk.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And well, not even in the town of Boston. That's actually been pretty good. But yeah, all the years through PAX, we've never had one incident. Really, it might be us. We just stole all those desserts in the hotel lobby, before we get into the room. So we might be the jerks, but, we've never run into